It's infuriating when an otherwise fabulous film has some sort of a plot hole that you just can't get over. It's alright to bend the truth a little in the name of entertainment, but we absolutely hate inconsistencies. They can take down some of the best films. We'll be taking a look at some of the best films that featured plot holes we've not been able to explain. Let's get started. Starting with number 12, Ocean's 11. We all agree that Ocean's 11 is the best of the lot, right? Heist thrillers don't get better than this, and in an era filled with thrillers, Ocean's 11 managed to age gracefully. Unfortunately though, in the midst of it all, it's very easy to overlook an extremely significant plot hole. Can you guess what we're talking about? It's pretty easy to miss, so don't rack your brain over it too much. Remember when we were told that the fake SWAT team actually swapped out the money with escort flyers? How did they get those bags down there? We see the team enter without any bags on them. Where did those bags come from? We can't explain it, but we'd love to hear what you think. After that, at number 11, Star Wars. The Star Wars franchise has a whole host of plot holes. They eventually end up causing several problems to the timeline and the narrative in prequel films. Despite these issues, we love Star Wars and it's up there with the biggest and best franchises in Hollywood. But a plot hole we can't get over came toward the end of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Remember when we learned that Obi-Wan Kenobi takes it upon himself to protect Luke Skywalker from his father back when he was a baby? Well, how exactly did he do that? He took the surname and went to Tatooine, the home planet of Darth Vader. Wow, Obi-Wan, what a shocking surprise. He'll never be looking there. Making the top 10, Back to the Future. Back to the Future trilogy is top-tier entertainment. Given that it came out back in the 80s, it was a sure shot hit. We've all seen it many times over the years, and we'd do anything to trade lives with Marty McFly. However, what we don't understand, and it's fine, we've been told that time travel isn't easy to comprehend, is the time when he unites his parents and saves their relationship. It was a wholesome moment as he ensured that they'll exist in the future, but how come his parents don't remember him? We're certain that his parents would have recognized him as the man who set them up, but they definitely don't. Weird, but we'll roll with it. At number 9, The Dark Knight Rises. Christopher Nolan's TDK trilogy is probably the best Batman trilogy to exist, at least so far. It features a whole host of fabulous actors from Oscar winners Christian Bale and Gary Oldman to the talented Tom Hardy and Anne Hathaway, but The Dark Knight Rises was probably the weakest of the three films. The idea was superb, but the execution, not so much. For someone who thinks so much about every part of his films, it's a bit strange that Nolan missed this significant plot hole. Commander Gordon orders the entire Gotham police force underground, where they're trapped by Bane. But when they're rescued, they show up in fine health and are impeccably dressed. And we don't know how that's possible. Maybe Bane is a fantastic host. Also at number 8, The Karate Kid. We really don't need to discuss this one in detail, do we? Everyone spotted this error from a mile away, and it's probably the biggest schoolboy error on this list at least. During the main battle, when the referee tells competitors that kicks to the face are not allowed, how come Daniel's crane kick, let us say that again, his fantastic crane kick to his challenger's face is allowed to stand? We're sure the protagonist should have been disqualified, but somehow he isn't. Moving on to number 7, Toy Story. The best animated film of all time? It's up there for sure. All that said and done, there are some inconsistencies with the storyline. We know how Buzz Lightyear believes that he's a space ranger at the beginning of the film, right? He believes that he doesn't belong on this planet and landed somewhere strange with no signs of intelligent life, right? If he truly believes that, then why does he freeze like every other toy when there's a human walking into the room? Makes no sense to us. Maybe the implication is that he's losing his mind, but that's just dark. On to number 6, Armageddon. This is perhaps the most obvious addition to this list. If you like this movie, we beg you to rediscover your lost taste. It's a film full of dumb plot holes, and it's nothing but a standard action film that has some famous actors. It's got plenty of eyes, even though it shouldn't have. Okay, so remember when Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck, along with their oil drilling buddies, headed out to outer space to save the world? Well, we don't want to hate them too much based on the movie, but wouldn't it have been easy for the astronauts to be taught how to drill, rather than teaching a bunch of oil rig operatives how to become an astronaut? The good thing is Affleck talked about this issue with the director Michael Bay during filming and was told to shut the F up. Fair enough. Entering the top 5, Gravity. For some reason this film earned a lot of hype. We don't want to sound like haters, but at this point, we probably do anyway. Still though, Gravity is a sci-fi thriller that sees Sandra Bullock's Dr. Ryan Stone battle to stay alive in the most challenging zero-gravity conditions. We're not saying they should have researched as much as Nolan did with Interstellar. No one has that kind of time. We're kidding, of course, but how do you overlook the laws of physics while filming a movie on zero gravity? Remember when George Clooney's Kowalski sacrifices himself by disconnecting and drifting off to space? Well, all Stone had to do was tug the rope back and Kowalski would have been saved. Then at number 4, A Quiet Place. Okay, we're not gonna lie, the first time people watched this film, it had the entire cinema in a chokehold. Brilliant effort by John Krasinski. And it's really a well-made movie, but there are some gaping holes, and there are lots of inconsistencies. Remember the scene when Krasinski's Lee takes his son Marcus to a river and they shout into a loud waterfall? He tells his son that the aliens don't show up because of the surrounding noise. That's cute, but why not move there? Why live in an isolated stretch of farmland, putting your family in danger? Despite all that, we'd still watch it because it's a good film regardless of the few errors. Into the top 3, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. This is an error that can give directors and screenwriters nightmares. The movie focuses on Croft's mission to protect everyone from the Illuminati as they're planning on using an artifact called the Triangle during a solar eclipse. It would result in worldwide devastation. But everyone overlooked the fact the Triangle wouldn't work without both halves. So why does she embark on the journey? She finds the first piece in Cambodia. Why couldn't she destroy that one? Wouldn't that have solved the whole problem? How do you overlook this one? We honestly can't wrap our heads around a mistake this big. Coming in at number 2, Shawshank Redemption. Considered as the greatest film of all time by many, Shawshank Redemption has a fantastic legacy. It's a great film with an amazing story and some fabulous dialogue. Somehow though, for all its greatness, the team missed out on a massive error from the film. We know you have an idea of what we're talking about. When that fantastic escape is analyzed later, the question that remains is, how did Andy Dufresne reattach the Raquel Welch poster to cover the hole? He could have fastened the top corners even from the inside, but how did he get the button ones? It beats us. It was such a terrible mistake that even Family Guy caught up on it and made a parody in one of their episodes. Finally at number 1, Titanic. How can it be any other film other than Titanic? The number 1 spot has to be reserved for the film that broke all records when it came out in the 1990s. James Cameron is an exceptional director, and we can't wait for Avatar 2, but let's take a minute to look back at the final moments of Titanic. It's really simple. Jack would have fit on the door with Rose easily. People make memes about it, but that doesn't change anything. How can you possibly leave him behind after all he's done? Maybe we're angrier about this one than any other, but we just can't believe how they let Jack die. That's a wrap for this video. Can you explain the inconsistencies in the 12 films that we've mentioned? Or do you agree that these plot holes ruin the films? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.